Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we got 7.32b, which is a sub patch, but actually has a ton of changes. I can't believe it. Like, usually Valve puts out the first patch, and then after like a few days, they put out like a patch with maybe 5 changes. This one has a ton of changes. Let's get into it. So they fixed Specialist Array, a neutral item, sometimes granting an extra attack. Okay, whatever. Fixed Arc Warden's Tempest Double, gaining the Fountain Invulnerability buff when spawned. I heard about that, so that's a good change to the hero. Apparently it was pretty bugged. Fixed Brewmaster level 20 talent, 1200 HP to Brewlings, not affecting Brewlings created with Primal Companion. That's a nice buff to the Brew Axe. Centaur's Hitch a Ride ally unit being unaffected by Chrono. Like, some of these things you don't even know exist. Also, being able to be cast on non-hero units. Wow, that is really useless, so that's good that they changed that. Fixed Doom's Doom ability going on cooldown if target becomes invulnerable during cast point. Fixed Earth Spirit's Boulder Smash, sometimes pushing the furthest target instead of the closest one. Okay, cool. Fixed, okay, this seems like just a bunch of changes we don't really need to focus on. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Basically, like, if there's any of your specific heroes that are on this list, I would read it, but no really major changes. Definitely nothing major. I'm speeding through it right now. Maybe Mars Arena of Blood allowing some flying abilities to take enemies over the wall. I heard Wyvern still could fly over Mars Arena for who knows what reason. That just last patch, they tried to fix it, but apparently they messed it up still. So they must have added Wyvern to that list. But okay, let's get into items. Bracer, slightly worse on damage. Wouldn't say this is terrible as a nerf because, I mean, it adds up, especially if you're buying 3 of them. It's 3 damage. Which can matter, but not the end of the world. You still could buy it on strength heroes. This item is way worse than what it used to be. It's also worse than HP regen. Wraithband's slightly better, 5 to 6 attack speed, okay? Soul Release cast range nerfed on Vessel by a lot, 200 cast range. And this might not seem like a big deal, but a big benefit of Vessel in teamfights was you could cast it casually on someone very far away, dealing about 1/3 of their health with no committal at all, and would put them in a very awkward position. So in terms of being a good Vessel user, this makes the item quite a bit worse. So definitely a nerf to Vessel. Still a viable item. If it's like, you know, there's a Morphling or whatever, I would still buy it, but Soul Ring, recipe cost increased from 245 to 400. I don't even, that is brutal. 400. This item is 155 gold more expensive. That is insane. That is an insanely expensive item. All attributes decreased on Oculate Bracelet from 5 to 3. Okay, slightly worse. Specialist Array. This item is really good still though, because what I didn't realize is that creeps proc the passive. So like any hero can just abuse the mana regen aspect very easily by tanking creeps. So it's definitely stupid how good this item is. It's way better than it should be. I thought it was only going to work on heroes, but I guess that would have been really bad. So it's reasonable. Specialist Array, slightly worse in terms of stats. Okay, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this item. It used to, I mean, it had 8 stats and 10 damage, which is 15 damage. It's a tier 2 neutral item that gives you 15 damage and 5 all stats. You could take it on any hero and it's solid. You could take it on a support and it's fine. Ogre Seal Totem, 2 less strength, so still a broken item. This item is really OP, guys. Please use it. It's a disengage that cannot be canceled. Alchemist losing some strength gain and bonus movement speed decreased by not too much. Alchemist is definitely still good. Anti-Mage movement speed slow on full drain, so when you completely burn their mana pool, 15% more on the full drain at level 1. That is an insane amount of kill potential on a hero that was already looking better. It was already up like 3% win rate on Dota buff for your average pub. So do I think AM is a good hero? I think it's a risky hero, but if it dominates the lane, I think the hero is fine, if not good. Like against something like Sand King, it can dominate. This movement speed slow is pretty crazy. Batrider losing a lot of vision. 200 bonus vision decreased. Huge nerf, way worse at scouting the high ground and looking for lassos. So that's a pretty huge nerf. And they also nerfed lasso at every single level by 0.5 seconds. Is the hero unplayable? Definitely not. It's still a solid hero, for sure. Still a solid hero, but quite a bit worse. I would say this is a good change because I think the hero was too strong, but they didn't like crush it. Definitely is still a pickable hero. They also changed up the talents a bit, nerfing the better level 10 talent by a little bit and changing, you don't even take this talent at 20. You don't take this at 25. So most of the talent changes were stupid. Cooldown decreased. I'm not even going to read this. This is trash. Bounty Hunter, base armor increased by 1 and cooldown from 12 to 9 on Janata, making this hero much, much better at level 1. Whether or not you're a 4 or an offlaner, the hero trades significantly better and can steal way more gold early on into the game, and has 1 more armor. It already had 7 armor, so this base armor change is pretty negligible, to be honest. For some heroes, it's good if they have like 0 or 1. For a Bounty, he already had 7, so it doesn't really matter. Brew Primal Split now refreshes Brutling cooldowns. That's good, so I guess that helps the Ags. Minimum movement speed bonus increased from 0 to 50. I feel like Brood is a decent hero. It's like the lowest winner hero in Dota buff, or like bottom 3, but I think it's because people suck at the hero. On Dota 2 Pro Tracker, my friend showed me it has a high win rate. So I think people are just bad at Brood. I don't think the hero is inherently useless. I think people just suck at the hero. Centaur, 1 HP regen and some cooldown on Hitch a Ride. I think the hero is, I think it's an okay hero, but a little bit suspect. A lot of HP regen, that's for sure. I don't think Hitch a Ride is very good. I've used it. It's just not that good. It's cool, but it's not good. It's just not. Chen, nerfed on the Q, not by too much. Hand of God, nerfed by 2 seconds, so losing quite a bit of regen. 40 HP total on level 1 Hand of God, which is quite a bit. There's definitely a nerf, bit of a talent nerf too. Mana cost on Burning Barrage, only up by 5. It's pretty whatever. Clockwork, big buff seemingly. So base HP regen slightly up. It's kind of whatever. Mana cost on Battery Assault. This hero has mana problems. So mana cost on Battery Assault, mana cost on Hookshot, and mana cost on Overclock. Really nice quality of life change to a hero that has mana problems. They did nerf Soul Ring though. So it's like kind of cancels out because you don't really want to buy Soul Ring. It's so expensive. I think you just try to buy Wand Raindrops and like a Sage's Mask as a substitute. Honestly, that's what I would buy. Dawnbreaker, base damage increased by 2. Damage decreased by not too much, only 10 at all levels, but it matters. But they did nerf the base damage. And level 10 talents are slightly worse. Nothing crazy, but I guess this is 21 damage early game because it's 3 swipes. So hurts the hero. Overall, just lower damage. So could make the difference between her losing kills or not in the lane. Still a good hero though, for sure. Definitely still a good hero. Dazzle, a lot of talent changes, nothing significant. Death Prophet, per Q is 15 less mana at max, not really too much better at the other levels, but 15 at max. They heavily buffed Spirit Siphon, which is huge. Better at level 1 by 5 damage, which is significant because it's damage per second, right? So it really snowballs 20 damage higher at max. That is a lot. That is a lot. It doesn't do max damage, but it does 100 damage per second, which is a lot. It's still not nearly as good against the really tanky heroes, but they also buff the mana cost of Exorcism, and this hero really has mana problems. If you haven't played it, it has mana problems. Dragonite, HP regen, 1 better at all level, armor 1 better at all level. Okay, it's a better hero at level 1. It's a decent change. Or level 2. Okay, Frost Arrow, slightly better at max, which is decent with your E. And they also bettered Frost Arrow at level 1, which is a big deal. This hero would run out of mana in the lane. It's a nice change. Rolling Boulder, less mana. Okay. Base armor reduced on Enigma, slightly nerfing his level 10 talent. You could probably take Black Hole DPS though. I think it's honestly a solid talent. The Eidolon attack speed was probably the better talent, but Black Hole damage is a fine take considering how big of a nerf this is. So not too bad. Hunter's Boomerang, cast range decreased only by 100, not too bad. Coddle getting a slight buff on Solar Bind, nothing too crazy though. Kunkka Torrent, mana cost rescale, that's whatever. Legion, whatever. Lash, slight buff on strength. Frost Shield, much longer at max. Worse at level 1, but probably an overall buff. Now costs Frost Nova on itself when destroyed. Max HP is damage increased by 0.3 at max. That is a big buff to Lifestealer. 0.3 of your max HP really adds up quick, because Lifestealer is really high attack speed, so if he hits you 10 times, which is realistic for Lifestealer, that's 3% of your max health. And that's a big deal, because it also heals Lifestealer, so big buff to Lifestealer. I think the hero is pretty decent. Marcy, 5 more base movement speed, a little bit of strength gain. Landing A1 or W, which is the stun now, is better, and the duration on Sidekick increased. I don't know, I don't think the hero is horrible. I don't think it's completely unplayable. It might be decent as a core. They also buffed the Unleash, so a lot of buffs here on Marcy. Might be a decent core. Mars, okay, very popular hero. 15 damage worse at all levels on Rebuke. Whew. Scepter soldiers no longer attack while Mars is stunned. Or disarm. Oh, a Mar build. Immediately nerfed. Wow, they're just nerfing OG. You win a major, you get nerfed. And then a mana cost on your ulti's up. Damn. Definitely a huge nerf to the hero. I think the hero is not that good. I'm going to keep it. It might still get picked because it's Mars and the hero is just a stun with a good lane, but and a team fighting ulti. It's just a good hero, but all right. Passive, whatever. Poof damage. Bonus magic resist increased by 5%. That's not bad. Morphling Adaptive Strike mana cost, slightly better. Adaptive Strike base damage, quite a bit better at level 1, good for securing creeps. Base mana regen by 0.5, huge buff to the hero in that regard. And a bit of HP regen, making this hero a better laner, so pretty good. Naga, 10 attack speed, really? 10 attack speed at level 1, that's huge for this hero, because it really benefits from attack speed with Riptide at level 2, so big buff to Naga. Cast point improved on Mirror Image, making it much easier to dodge spells with it. Split time was increased, but that's overall a buff, that's a net buff. Because the split time also makes you invulnerable, so it's also more time where you can dodge spells quicker and dodge for longer, so that's a nice buff. And they increased the cast point on this. Shard also increases the duration of Song of the Siren, which is a good shard. Heals your team for 35% of their health at max. Nature's Prophet base attack time improved by 0.2. Whoa, huge buff on Nature's Prophet attack time. Phantom Assassin loses strength, loses agi gain, loses some base damage, still a good hero. Oh, but her level 10 talent got nerfed in half. Okay, pretty hard nerf to the hero. Still viable if it's got good matchups, but very hard nerfs. Losing a lot of base strength, agi gain, 1 damage. Not the end of the world, but the level 10 talent nerf is pretty huge with how the lifesteal works. So still a good hero, but not OP. Slow duration, okay, whatever. Base movement speed increased, so this hero getting a decent sized buff at level 1. Decent amount of damage on the base. And some movement speed, which helps with trample. Pulverized mana cost better, probably still. I think it's a decent hero. I don't think Primal Beast is horrible, but not great. Mana cost on Illusory Orb, 30 higher! And the travel speed is 100 worse. Ooh, that might kill Puck. 30 mana on the Q? To be fair, when you max it out, it evens out, so it won't kill the hero. But the travel speed being 100 worse is going to make Puck way easier to chase and make it way harder to hit Illusory Orb when targets are far away, which comes up a lot. So big nerf to the hero. Pudge Fleshy, better at level 1, worse at max. Wouldn't really say it's too big of a nerf. Probably still just good. Another Blast on Pugna, better at max. Life Drain slightly better at level 1. Probably still an overall bad hero, I'd say, from what I've seen. Quap mana cost on Dagger, worse at all levels. Probably still a good hero. Razor, Storm Surge. This hero got nerfed again. Much worse as a value point. So you gotta put the second point in this ability now. You want to get it up to 12% if you're gonna play the hero. So I'd skip another point in Link for that. Or people might just skip it altogether and just max Link, max Q, which feels kind of bad. Rubik, whatever. Silencer, probably trash. Tiny movement speed down by 10. And this hero has been nerfed a million times in a row, is still good. Firestorm damage up by a lot. 20 more damage on Underlord Firestorm at max. 5 better at level 1, which is decent, but 20 better at max is really nice early game, considering this ability takes 6 times. That's 120 damage. That's a lot when you're farming, and a lot just if you keep a hero in it early game, so that's really big. Scepter strength, no, my hero. Okay, it's still good. The Scepter's a little bit worse. You only steal 8 strength instead of 10, but you don't even have to buy Scepter on Core on Dying. You really don't. So the hero, it's only 5 seconds on Tombstone, and it's not too bad. Mana cost increased on Grave Chill by 100. It's a pretty big nerf. This hero has mana problems, and they nerfed Grave Chill level 1. Still a good hero. Still a good hero. Definitely worse, but still a good hero. Resonant Pulse on Void Spirit, slightly better at max. It's decent. Shield now increases when refreshed rather than getting reset. Well, that's cool. Okay, they made the hero a little bit better at max. If you max the E, it's quite a buff. Windrun cooldown better at level 15. It's a decent change. And then Witch Doctor! 5 damage at 1, 10 at 2, 15 at 3, a decent change. All right, I mean, I like Witch Doctor. I think the hero is pretty solid. I don't like how they changed the W. I'm not a fan, but overall, I think the hero is pretty good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really excited. Good change. I mean, good set of buffs. I don't think it was anything insane, but there were some good changes here and there that I like. The Prophet change is cool. Naga change is cool. The Pudge change was okay. Lifestealer change is a big deal. What else? Drought change is pretty good. DP change is freaking massive. Clock change is a nice quality of life. A lot of good changes here. So a good patch from Valve. Overall, pretty impressed. I like it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below. And I'm out. Peace.